Recently, I was attending a summit of CEOs and HR managers, about 250 of them. A few of them said that 360-degree feedback did not work in their company. I was very surprised. When I investigated further, I found that they have made a series of mistakes and started at the end of it blaming the process and the tool. It is very unfortunate that if such a potential and powerful tool like 360-degree feedback for provoking leadership development does not work in your company. I can easily identify about 10 different mistakes that one may be making. If you make any one of these mistakes, the chances are high the 360-degree feedback doesn't work in your company. Mistake number one: not stating the purpose of why you are undertaking 360-degree feedback. You should be clear about the purpose, and normally we recommend the most important purpose of 360-degree feedback is to help people to gain insights into the impact that they are making on others and use this feedback as a mechanism to improve their own leadership capabilities. Johari window, where the four parts of our personality, the part of the personality known to you and known to others, another part of personality known to others but not known to you, a third part which is known to you but not known to others, and the fourth part which is neither known to you nor known to others, explains a large part of our talent. 360-degree feedback doesn't help you to discover what you or others don't know about you, that is the unexplored self. But 360 helps you to discover how much you know about yourself is known to others, and how much you know about yourself is not known to others, and how much others know about you is not known to you. All these three things will help you to discover more about yourself. So it is very important when a company undertakes a 360-degree feedback, identify the purpose as developmental purpose. In case you want to use it as a control tool, let me assure you, it's not going to work. However, even if you want to use it as a control tool and may not work, the chances are high that if you create certain amount of trust and at least transparently say, this is how I want to use it and so on. But in TVRLS and in all my work, I have never recommended 360 as a tool to control behavior of other people. People control their own behavior, and if somebody else tries to control them, they are likely to play politics and mess up the whole situation. So never try. So number two, second mistake that most organizations make is that they don't use the right kind of a survey tool. It's very important to develop a survey tool depending on the purpose. If you want leadership styles to be helped to be looked at, you should develop a leadership style tool. If you want certain type of personality qualities to be identified and people should have them, you should have those. Or if you want to focus on values, you should have them. You should focus on roles and activities, you should have them. Normally it is useful to start with a competency framework and develop a tool that suits your competency framework. So the survey tool is the most important part of it. Make it simple and let people understand the tool even before it is administered. The third mistake that most companies make is that they conduct the survey without providing adequate education and information to all the people. So it's very important to educate all those who are going to be surveyed, including the people who are going to participate and the people who will be assessing the other participants. The fourth mistake that people make is not maintaining anonymity. 360-degree feedback success depends upon complete anonymity of responses. You have to make sure, either by using the right technology or whatever other methods that you are using, to have total anonymity. It's not enough to assure people that they don't need to write their name, but you have to make sure you have no other way of identifying this, and this is communicated well to all employees. The fifth mistake that people make is not using a credible source to conduct this particular 360 feedback. If you use a consultant or internal resources or external people, if your employees don't trust them, it is not likely to work. Those people who are likely to participate in promotion decisions and administrative decisions, if they facilitate or if they try to use 360-degree feedback, their credibility in India may be questionable. So it's very important to have a credible source to conduct the 360 feedback. The sixth important dimension to make a 360 successful is the way you analyze the data and the way you present the data. The data have to be analyzed by finding out the mean, average trends and giving highest, lowest possible kind of scores. If you present the data individual wise and simply work as a post office, it does a lot of damage. When you present to the feedback receiver the scores as given by those whom you are saying as anonymous, the receiver of the feedback may try to identify on the basis of the scores that he or she gets individuals who may have rated them as low or high and ascribe quite wrongly the feedback to people whom they have reservations about or negative perceptions about and so on. So the way you analyze and present the data becomes an extremely important kind of a thing, and this is where sometimes mistakes are made. The seventh important dimension to remember is to prepare the individual before you pass the feedback on. Normally we conduct at least a full day workshop when somebody undertakes 360-degree feedback for the first time. One full day or maybe even a couple of days of preparation to receive feedback. In this preparation to receive feedback, we emphasize to people a low rating is a good rating because it at least helps you to discover where you are. A high rating may indicate that the person simply is praising you and therefore you may not have much to learn and so on. I mean, things like this, we make it very clear to individuals on how to interpret the feedback and so on. So this is a mistake you will be making if you don't prepare the individual and give him the feedback. The next mistake that people make is they give feedback not only to the individual on whom 360 survey is conducted, but also to his boss or to the organization and so on. This is the worst thing that can happen in 360-degree feedback. Never give feedback to anybody other than the person who is being surveyed for the 360-degree feedback. It is, at least in our opinion, when you use 360 as a leadership development tool, mandatory for the people who conduct this to give feedback only to the people who go through this. Now later, if they want to share with the company, if the organization wants, I think it is up to them and the kind of a climate they create. So feedback should be given only to the individual and is not to be shared with anybody else. And it should not be given publicly, it should be given privately. The next mistake that people do is once you give the feedback, if you leave it without helping the individual to interpret the feedback and coach the individual and help the individual make a development plan, it again becomes a wastage. So it is very, very important that the people who administer 360 work with them and work with the receivers of feedback and help them to prepare individual development plans. And the last thing that you should do is to keep reviewing after some time. It is very useful after about 2 to 3 months to have another interaction with the candidate concerned and review the action plan that the person has worked out. And this of course presumes that there should be an action plan at the end of the 360-degree feedback, and if these action plans preferably should be shared. If you take care of these 10 points, I don't see any reason why your 360 will not succeed. I think the only reason why your 360 does not succeed maybe because you are a lousy 360 facilitator or your individual is not at all ready and he is not likely to learn. Because 360 is such a powerful tool that facilitates your understanding about yourself, gain insights, and if you can't make use of such a powerful tool like 360-degree feedback, I would have serious doubts if you are likely to benefit from anything else. So next time you conduct 360-degree feedback, Remember these 10 points and make sure you do a wonderful job. All the best in building your leadership competencies.